Hey, hello. I'm here with Mr. Pace. He's a businessman here in Houston. I really want to call him an entrepreneur. He's been in business here in Houston for over 65 years. He came to Houston in 1944. He still has a business in Third Ward, and his family works in his business. He has his daughter, his whole family. So he has really been blessed to have his family still helping him with his business, and he's still running things. Mr. Pace,
Yes.
would you start, give your story as far as when you came to Third Ward, and you told me you worked, did some work for Mr. Prince at the Groovy Grill back in the day. I'm gonna let you talk now. Anything you want to talk
I
about?
can start.
Yes, sir.
I'm Robert L. Pace, been in criminal victim approximately 63 years, and I started, my wife and I started with the hard way. We soaked our furniture to get finance to buy a few little equipment. And so I went to the furniture company to soak my furniture, and I started off in business. And from there, I went on. I'm married, had 8 kids, and all of them finished college, and they're doing successful. One married a dentist, one married a doctor, and the others worked for me practically. I had 2 sons, and they are deceased at the present time. So you can start asking me what you want to say.
Right. Now, I remember you, as I was a little boy growing up, you were well known in the community. You remember the Holman Show and all that area
Yes.
around in there? You said you did some work for the Groovy Grill, Mr. Prince. And what other businesses in Third Ward did you work, do you recall working at, doing work with?
Well, I worked at the El Dorado. I worked at the Fifth Ward.
Take your time, that's all right.
I worked at most of all the blacks, permanent blacks.
Right.
I did work for. And
Did you do any work at the Prince Building there on Wheeler?
Yes, I did work for Presbyterian on Wheeler.
Right, right. And what about the Lincoln Drive-In? Did you ever do any work over there for them?
No, I didn't do any work for the Lincoln Drive,
Right, right.
but I did work for Mr. Hart. He was downtown. He had McDonald Building.
What about Mac Hanna? Did
Yeah, I did work for Mac Hanna and all of his daughters and granddaughters. Thing I did work for them. They was good friend of my daughters. The girls were.
yeah,
Yeah. And I did so much work.
I know you have.
I really don't. Right now, see, I'm 93 years old, and it's hard for me to remember a lot of things.
Well, I just appreciate you doing, talking to us, and we're trying to get as much history as we can about Third Ward. We got people going around, and they're trying to get information, and we just want you to give us any kind of information you can. I noticed. Where were you located before? Have you always been located right here?
No, I worked out of my home down on Canfield. I worked on Canfield, 2019 Canfield, and then I went to my home down on Anita,
Okay.
and I worked there. And I finally bought this building. I worked on Scott Street for 35 years.
That's where I remember seeing your place a lot.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah. And then I finally, Mr. Luke DePluma finally sold me this place here, and I bought a place down here where I am now at the present time. And I moved to here. So, most everybody in the ward, particularly out in this ward, know me, know me.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it was, it wasn't so hard. It was kind of complicated, but it wasn't so hard to be in business. You just have to have a willing mind
Right. Right.
and do good work and treat people right, and
Yeah.
And I was a good Christian man, raised all of my kids, my family, my wife. I was married for 67 years. It was it wasn't hard for me.
Right.
People said it was hard, you
What,
know.
well, you know, I remember Mr. Baker. Remember Baker Jones?
Baker Jones, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of your competitors back in the day.
Yeah, Baker Jones was a good friend of mine. The Chief Baker and Baker Jones, they lived next door there.
Oh, okay.
This is with the present place that I have now, the present place.
Yeah.
They live right there, right next door.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Before, you know, one of the Baker boys moved over in Canfield Oaks, where you have a home over there off of Tier Wester.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Ruth Street,
Yeah.
and you on Rosewood there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But now, Baker Jones, Mr. Baker's had a brother, and he had that barbershop in the Prince building. I don't know if you remember that or not.
I don't know him, but I know G.
Okay.
I know G and I know Baker.
Right. And the thing Mr. Baker said,
I'm sorry. I'm jumping here. Baker Jones was in business with Moss. With Moss.
okay,
He was in business. He and Boss were Boss up on down in there
Okay.
for a long time.
right.
Yeah.
And then they moved over here off San Jacinto someplace. They got a spot.
But Moss's son got it now.
Oh, right.
Moss's son has.
Right. But I remember back when integration really started right here in Third Ward, and Mr. Baker told us, he said that integration is going to hurt us. He meant black businesses.
Uh-huh.
And it really did, because it seemed like a lot of businesses went out, a lot of people went out of business or whatever. But you were able to continue on with your work.
Yeah, that's right. I hung in there. I had to hang in there.
And I noticed, I was in here over the weekend, I noticed you had a Mexican guy working for you too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're an equal employer, you know what I mean? You don't have any problem with getting good help.
I'll be right back. Let me go around and hit the airport.
No, I have pretty good help. I've had pretty good help.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, what would you like to say? I know God bless you to have your family helping you in this business, and they'll take over once you decide to retire or as you say, get your wings and move on.
I hope they do.
Oh yeah, they will. I've been fortunate enough to talk to